With the next few videos, we move from prophecy to prediction, and then we will finalize with preparation. Up until now, we've focused on the prophetic scriptures, God's sovereign decrees about the future revealed in His infallible Word. These prophecies are divine truths that will certainly come to pass, rooted in the authority and omniscience of God Himself. In this video, I want to begin to bridge the gap between these biblical prophecies and the current rapid and exponential growth of artificial intelligence. This next phase of our study will involve what I refer to as prediction, our human effort to understand and anticipate future events based on the trends and knowledge available to us today. As believers, we are called to be watchful, discerning the signs of the times. Scripture passages such as Matthew 24:32-33, 1 Thessalonians 5:2-6, Luke 21:34-36, Revelation 3, verse 3, and Mark 13, verses 35-37 reinforce the need to be observant and alert. Remember Jesus' rebuke to the religious leaders of His day for not recognizing the signs of His first coming in Matthew chapter 16, verses 2-3. He answered them, "When it is evening, you say, 'It will be fair weather, for the sky is red.' And in the morning, 'It will be stormy today, for the sky is red and threatening.' You know how to interpret the appearance of the sky, but you cannot interpret the signs and times." This should serve as a warning to us to be aware of the signs of His second coming and not get caught off guard. This doesn't mean that we, as humans, can predict the future with absolute certainty. But we do need to stay spiritually alert, understanding the times in which we live and how they may fit into God's sovereign plan. As we delve into these predictions, I want to assure you that they are not based on isolated opinions or the views of any single institution or individual. What I will be presenting is the result of a wide range of papers, videos, and discussions from various experts in the fields of AI and technology. It is a comprehensive synthesis of many resources representing a broad consensus among experts about the trajectory of AI and technological developments. Will some individuals disagree with these findings? Sure, but there is an overwhelming agreement between the experts and companies developing AI and deploying its products that these trends accurately represent current projections. While no one can predict the future with absolute certainty, the patterns you'll see are grounded in substantial and well-researched observations. To help you better understand and visualize the current trajectory of AI, I'll be using S-curve charts. An S-curve chart is a powerful tool for showing how technologies start slowly and then accelerate rapidly before eventually leveling off as they mature. The timing of the S-curves for the current technologies could shift a few years sooner or later depending on actual circumstances, but the developments themselves are relatively certain. Before we look at the various S-curves for AI technology, let's understand how S-curves actually work. An S-curve, also known as a sigmoid curve, is a type of curve that shows the growth of a variable over a period of time. It is used to map the trajectory of emerging technologies because it is backed by historical precedent, aligns with established innovation theories, accurately reflects real-world dynamics, incorporates market limits, offers predictive insights, and is adaptable across various industries. Its data-driven nature and the availability of advanced analytical tools further enhance its reliability and credibility as a model for technological forecasting. For technology, S-curves have three phases, and they are these. The introductory phase. This initial phase represents the early stages of a technology or product where growth is slow due to limited adoption, high costs, and potential teething problems. Teething problems is an expression that refers to the initial difficulties or challenges encountered when something is new or being introduced or implemented. Just like when an infant is growing their first teeth, which can be painful and uncomfortable, but it is normal and an expected part of their development. The growth phase. In the middle phase, adoption accelerates rapidly. The technology or product gains broader acceptance, costs decrease due to economics of scale, and the improvements are made based on feedback. This phase is characterized by rapid market expansion and product development. The maturity phase. In this final phase, the growth rate slows as the technology or product reaches saturation. Most potential users have adopted it and the market becomes more stable. The S-curve visually demonstrates how the rate of adoption for performance improvement evolves over time, starting slow, accelerating, and then leveling off. This model helps in understanding and predicting the life cycle and impact of technologies and products. To illustrate this, let's look at some examples of the S-curves on a few historical technologies. The curve for the Industrial Revolution is an example of a gradual adoption and starts around 1750 and extends well into the 20th century, reflecting a long period of gradual growth. The curve for electricity is a more moderate adoption, beginning around 1880 and showing a steady increase into the mid-20th century. The curve for automobiles is even faster, starting around 1900 with a quicker technological integration and acceptance. In the past, many technological advancements have followed a more linear or gradual S-curve pattern, taking decades and even centuries, allowing society ample time to adopt and adapt. This slower progression gave people, industries, and institutions an opportunity to adjust to the new technologies and to integrate them into everyday life. Jobs that were being affected or displaced by the new technology would be backfilled with minimal gap between old jobs and new jobs, and the overall standard of living would increase as well. Most of all, there was time for governments to respond to the new technology to protect the public by developing safety protocols, production standards, regulations for accountability, and classifying new products in the interest of national security. However, in the past few years, there are several technologies on the verge of converging that will result in massive disruption and significant global transformation. Let's look at their S-curves. Artificial intelligence and machine learning. Continued advancements in AI and ML will drive automation, enhance decision-making processes, and enable new innovations across various industries from healthcare to finance, 5G and beyond. The rollout of 5G networks and subsequent 6G and 7G networks will provide faster, more reliable internet connectivity, supporting the growth of the Internet of Things, development of quantum internet, safe autonomous vehicles, land, air, and sea, and the reality of smart cities. Quantum computing. As quantum computing matures, it will revolutionize fields that require complex computations such as cryptography, drug discovery, and materials science, potentially solving problems that are currently intractable for classical computers. Biotechnology and genomics. Advances in CRISPR and other gene editing technologies, along with improvements in genomic sequencing, will lead to breakthroughs in personalized medicine, agriculture, and the treatment of genetic disorders. Renewable energy and energy storage. Progress in solar, wind, and other renewable energy technologies, such as fusion energy, which is considered the holy grail of energy sources, coupled with advancements in battery and energy storage, will help address climate change by reducing reliance on fossil fuels and enabling more sustainable energy solutions. Blockchain and decentralized finance. The growing adoption of blockchain technology and decentralized finance will transform financial systems, enhancing security, transparency, and accessibility while reducing transaction costs. Augmented reality and virtual reality. AR and VR technologies will become more immersive and widespread, impacting areas such as education, entertainment, training, and remote work. Now let's go back to our historical S-curves and look at a few more technologies you may recognize. Then we will overlay the emerging technologies so you can see the difference. Let's start with the steam engine and the railroad. How about the refrigerator and aviation? Now let's overlay the converging AI and related technologies. AI and related technologies are advancing at an unprecedented rate, leaving little time for adaptation. These technologies can disrupt labor markets, industries, and economic systems almost immediately, creating challenges for policy and infrastructure to keep up. Governments will struggle to create and implement policies quickly enough to manage the impacts of rapid technological change. The inherent slow pace of governmental processes and the bureaucratic inertia will further hinder timely responses. Significant investment will be required for retraining programs, social safety nets, and infrastructure development. Economic constraints and competing priorities will limit the availability of resources, driving economic inequality on significant numbers of vulnerable populations who are less able to adapt to technological changes. The rapid pace of technological change will create significant skill gaps, with many workers unprepared for new job roles. Societal resistance to change and the slow pace of cultural adaptation can impede the smooth transition to new technologies. Coordinated global efforts are challenging to achieve, and fragmented international responses will reduce the overall effectiveness of adaptation strategies. Geopolitical conflicts and tensions can divert attention and resources away from addressing technological impacts. Given these challenges, the probability of an initially negative scenario increases significantly, such as widespread job displacement. Rapid job displacement due to automation and AI without sufficient retraining and job creation will lead to high unemployment and economic instability. Persistent long-term unemployment will exacerbate social and economic inequalities, social unrest and political instability. Economic disparity and inadequate social safety nets will fuel social tensions and unrest. Increased social unrest will lead to the rise of political extremism and instability, geopolitical conflicts. International tensions over resource allocation and economic dominance will add to global instability, moral and ethical decline. Economic and social instability usually lead to moral and ethical decline, further destabilizing society. Given the rapid pace of modern technological advancements and the multiple layers of challenges in policy, economic resources, social adaptation, and global coordination, it is highly probable to expect that governments, industries, businesses, the economy, and society will not have the time or capability to react effectively enough to avoid these negative global impacts. Proactive measures, including substantial investment in education and retraining, stronger and more agile governance, comprehensive social safety nets, and coordinated international efforts, are crucial to mitigate these impacts. However, without such measures, the likelihood of experiencing significant societal disruption and instability is very high. Given the current trajectory, the world is about to hit a wall that is being built so fast there is virtually no stopping it, and on the other side, nothing will ever be the same. In our next video, we will look at the impact AI and related technologies will have on jobs and the economy, and why it is already too late for governments to proactively mitigate what is coming.